Hello everyone. How goes it today? Well, I sat down to make this video about false idols and gurus and prophets, and I thought that I would do a little prequel, if you will, to this. I guess it wouldn't be a prequel, but maybe a preamble, I guess it would be, about the video I'm going to do in a little bit. I'm right now in the process of, I sat down, I have my notes in front of me, and I was getting ready to make it, but it's about 10-15 minutes until I have to pick up my kids from school. So I figure it's probably best that I wait. In the meantime, I do have a few minutes, so I thought I'd talk about my intentions behind why I talk about these things, and why it seems to some people, I'm sure, that I'm harping on or insulting or berating what other people want to believe or do believe. And many of the discussions that I've had over the years, if I talk about, if I talk about something scientific, let's say that someone who's religious, doesn't want to believe because it conflicts with their own beliefs, they will go and insult science and talk about how imperfect science is. If I talk about something spiritual or something I feel in my heart, connection to the universe, there will always be somebody who's a materialist who says, oh, that's just a delusion, and whatever you're feeling or whatever experience you've had is all within your own head. And so it's an ambivalence towards these two subjects. The whole science and religion debate, to me, they're just two sides of the same coin, trying to understand ourselves and to better live. But I found through my experiences, discussions, arguments, debates that I've had, that many people will take it the wrong way if a person tries to, let's say, expose something, especially if it's something that a lot of people want to believe. So by me making a video exposing, supposedly, or talking bad about gurus, to some people they may take that to seem like, why is this person, in other words, the old belief that if it's not affecting you, then let people live the life they want to live. In other words, believe what you want to believe, which is something I agree with completely, except when there's a possibility that an individual could be damaged by the lies that they're believing. And to be honest, this is the absolute only reason that I talk about things in any negative light. The only time I try to expose, falsehoods is when I'm doing so because I've seen people actually harmed by it. And in my life, I've always sought to understand the world around me as best I can. I have looked into a variety of different disciplines, religions, studies. I basically love to learn about everything. But I'm very cautious about what I lean too far into. I like to stay in the middle of the river. You hit less rocks that way, it seems. And the current can carry you a little faster, though. But anyhow, enough metaphor bullshit. I always seem to, picture myself on the river. You get caught in the eddies sometimes, and you're swirling around one idea, and then eventually on back down, and then merge back to the ocean. And in the meantime, we realize, as much as we think we know, there's always somebody who seems to have a better grasp on reality. And when we see somebody who comes across with an air of wisdom and spirituality, especially if it's somebody who's dressed just right with the right crystals and robes, people tend to bow down to that, metaphorically. And especially in India, where literally, people like that walk the streets and people lean down and kiss their feet, because, well, who doesn't want to be in favor of a holy man? So my question is, are any of these people actually holy men? Rather, are any of these gurus or prophets any more spiritually aware than the average person? Now I'd say maybe more than the average person, but in other words, what are the real important factors that we really need to take away from a spiritual experience, or if we were to learn from somebody who is a, quote, spiritual teacher, what is it that we should learn that would help us? And that's really what it comes down to, is which of the benefits can help us. So if the person is proposing a variety of different ideas and ways to cope with daily life stresses without trying to say, well, we need to completely abolish the ego and renounce all of your possessions, If there's any extremism involved, there's usually something to be skeptical about. But important to remember that people get wrapped up in their own delusions, and that it's my belief that a majority of these gurus, self-professed gurus, are in their own delusional state. And you can develop a type of mania that convinces you that what you believe is real. I'm just going to finish with this because I'll end up going on too long already. There's two different types of ways of thinking, lines of thinking about the experiences that all of these gurus and religious leaders have. One is perennialism. That's the belief that there is a similarity of experience. In other words, that if you, whichever practice you have, you attain a state of awareness, or what you might call enlightenment, and that other people around the world all share that identical type of enlightenment. Since that can't be proven or explained in words, generally we just assume the other people have the same feelings and ideas we do, or between, the gurus. But the other side, besides perennialism, is constructivism. The other line of thinking is that each individual constructs their own delusion within their mind, and that, consciously or subconsciously pick and choose parts of what they want to believe from the other practices they've heard, whatever sounds good and fits good, whether it be words like quantum or, some sort of type of, claim of healing the world. They tend to pick and choose the things that they think are positive while ignoring the negative. So I'll get more into detail when I get into this video. I just wanted to kind of put my intentions out there and talk a little bit about it. It's not about being better than anyone else. It's not about insulting anyone else. It's about saving people the heartache of believing that there are truly individuals out there who are enlightened. Because if they are, none of this enlightenment can be shared unless supposedly you follow the same path. And since so few people have reported, or even those who claim to be enlightened have actually shown anything that, remotely resembles enlightenment, in my opinion, I guess it would be subjective. So we'll get more into it in a little bit. I'll talk to y'all later.